Next up in these Weirwood Stage walkthroughs, I'm going to do stage 252. This is going to be a slight diversion from the compositions I've previously shown in that I'm going to be using a grey Enzo here, which isn't necessarily entirely free to play. He is through various events in the game, most of all through the Corolla event, where you can get him to grey fairly easily. There are of course many reasons in the game that you should do this for. Rebel leaders first and foremost, but he's also very useful for situations like this too. So setups like this are quite common in these Weirwood boss stages, where you have an infantry at the top who reduces the rage of your commanders, a spearman at the bottom who does damage in a straight line too and stuns off of it, and then the Night King has his own line ability and also a skill damage reduction that he applies onto all allies on his side of the battlefield. So the way we're going to counter this is Winton. Winton has two means of removing buffs, with his active ability and his all-conquering passive, which has a 30% chance of removing buffs through normal attacks also. The reason Enzo is here is that the nature of these line abilities that get used on you will mean that these four commanders realistically will take line damage in quite large amounts and it will be quite bursty. So it will be quite scary with these rarities of commanders where they'll drop to like 10% health and then you have to burst heal them up. This suits Enzo very well, and without him, even at Grey, this stage becomes a lot harder. Because of these line abilities too, we're going to want to bulk up these four commanders because the Night King will naturally group to this side because he spawns so far back that Winton will actually default to attacking this Wights infantry rather than him. So you'll have both the Night King lines and the Wight infantry lines attacking into all of these. So we're going to want to kill this Wight infantry as soon as possible because he has the most annoying ability there with his rage reduction. So when we actually get into the fight, that's going to be our priority. It's just going to be stunlock them and remove the skill damage reduction the Night King applies. You see there, Enzo is very low, and this is what I was saying, we're going to immediately Sansa heal him up. You see there the skill reduction with the upwards green arrow. Now we use Winton's active to get rid of that. Actually, the Wight infantry is already dead because of how much damage Enzo is doing, so it's not that important, but nonetheless, it's still the same concepts. You see here the amount of damage Enzo is doing. You see all the green swords with the upwards arrows. This is why Enzo is so good against rebel leaders, why he's so good in a situation like this where you can pretty much guarantee him going to 10% health, because the thing is, even after you heal him, he still retains those increased damage buffs, and he just absolutely shreds through everything. So even at Grey Rarity, the nature of his passive ability and perseverance is just so good for this, and is honestly quite fundamental in getting past this stage. So we're just going to try and stunlock everything now, and just let Enzo go absolutely mental, and kill everything left on the battlefield, and there we go. That is 252 done.